Thank you so much for watching WRIF TV. Now, this interview is obviously with video, but I don't interview everybody on Zoom. That's why I put it on my Talkin' Rock with Meltdown podcast. We talk to rock artists from all over the genre. So check out Talkin' Rock with Meltdown wherever you get your podcasts. And now to today's video interview.
Glenn, good to see you. How's things?
All fantastico. How about you?
I'm doing great. How are you recovering from your bout with COVID?
You know, I was the last. Well, there was like, I was the last guy in the band to get it. So when I got it, I thought, well, you know, how many more are going to get it? So I had a pretty bad case of it. So there's no way I could have continued. So I'm glad the guys had a chance to continue. And now we're all home getting ready for the next run of shows, which, of course, is the United States coming up very soon.
Well, before we go on any further, it took two guys to do the job of one Glenn Hughes, just so you know, right?
Yeah, I mean, they did really well, and they came in under really no notice at all, and they did a remarkable job. I'm really glad for everyone that they could continue and fulfill the commitment.
Yeah. So you're talking about these running shows here in the States. So that starts up pretty soon. Of course, the record drops on September 30th. So talk about that, Radiance.
Yeah, you know, the album I got together with Doug exactly around two years ago to privately start making new music, because Holy Ground had just come out, as you know. So came up with 10 songs, 6 of which are on the album.
Okay.
So that 2 years ago was the foundation of what would become the album called Radiance. And funny enough, Radiance was the first song that I came up with. So I'm glad it's the title track.
Now I see that Doug is trying to get in here. I didn't realize that he was too. I thought you guys were going to be like together in the same room. So when I just saw you, I just thought it was going to be you.
no, we're always together. He's at his house. I'm at my house too.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. While he's trying to check in here, So how much did the pandemic play into this record? There's Doug right there. Doug, we'll get to you in a second here. I'm talking to Doug for a second, but
no, it played a part in the fact that Doug and I were able to privately get together in our own homes and work on new music and, you know, keep the flag flying, you know. So again, we had a good head start to make the album. So, and here we are talking to you about it. So we're very happy.
Doug, I was just telling Glenn before you got on that I thought that perhaps you guys are going to be together. So when I just saw Glenn, I thought that maybe you weren't going to be there. So I apologize for starting early here, but we won't forget.
Oh, no, it's all good, man. No worries. How are you?
I'm doing great. We're here in Detroit just talking about the new record. And I just asked Glenn about, you know, how the pandemic kind of played into it. But he just kind of mentioned that, like, you know, you guys had a chance to get together. But did, as far as the writing the songs, anything like that, have anything to do with the pandemic or no?
Well, I mean, as Glenn probably told you, we got together and started, we were actually going to do a concept record during that pandemic. And so we started banging through Glenn had a few ideas, and then we went and demoed those up. We ended up getting busy promoting the album, so we didn't go through it. But a couple of those songs, I think there's 5 of those songs that made it on the album. And we came up with 6 or 7 other songs as well. And so it was a start. It did have something to do with it, because during the pandemic we got together to start doing demos.
Yeah, it was important. I'm glad we did that. We had a good head start.
And we just talked about this a few minutes ago, that Glenn couldn't make some of the shows there in the UK. What was it like to have 5 guys up there on stage, Doug?
Oh, that was it was nerve-wracking because, you know, we were working as a tight machine, and we thought we were going home, but then at the end, it became a possibility that we could carry on and finish out our commitments, which is what we did. But, you know, there's no replacing Glenn. It was a completely different situation.
Yeah.
No, I just thought it was a great opportunity for the band to look. It was an 11-week tour, and that's a long time for anybody, any age group, to, and especially in this climate. So, as you know, a lot of bands are pulling out, canceling, people getting COVID everywhere, God bless them. But we were able to continue and fulfill our commitments.
Yeah, that's great. So what is it like to release a new record, Doug? What is the feelings when you release an album?
Well, it's exciting, man, because, you know, we're really, really, really happy with the album. we've been playing a couple of those songs live, but on this US run that we're getting ready to do, we're going to be playing 4 of those songs. Yeah. And to be honest, nobody's been able to capture the live sound that we've got.
No.
So the album sounds great, but live it's better. It's better.
It's a wacky scenario because these songs, as some of the songs on Holy Ground, sound way better live than they do record, and they sound great recorded. But for some great reason, these songs tick all the boxes when we play them live.
Well, you guys have a very live sound and feel, of course. You know, it's funny. I just saw Metallica the other night. I'm not a fan of Saint Anger, but they ripped out one of the songs from Saint Anger, and all those songs sound better when they play them live.
Yeah, I guess. Now, listen, you're in Detroit. Just
right.
So you know, that's a big place for the Dead Daisies and a big place for me because I just love Detroit.
Now, wasn't Detroit the first major show you ever played, or no?
In Deep Purple, it was.
Yeah, Deep Purple, yeah.
Yes, it was. You're right. It was February of 74.
Yeah, because your friend David Coverdale has told me that about many times.
Yes, it's true. 2 shows at the Cobo Hall. It was fantastic.
Yeah. Hey, Doug, what are your favorite memories of Detroit? You had to come through here a bunch of times.
Yeah, one of them is playing at the Fox Theater. With, it was Whitesnake and Scorpions, and Ted Nugent showed up. And the Nuge, and he wanted to jam with the Scorpions, and so he didn't have a guitar, and so I loaned him my Les Paul, and they didn't. I don't think they knew what was in store because he came running out on stage and just took over the stage. It was like it's a Scorpions show, and he's playing "Rock You Like a Hurricane" with them and just owning the stage. So that was a fun memory. And then always Pine Knob. It's called DTE now, I guess. But
back to Pine Knob.
Yeah. Oh, it's back to Pine Knob. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, that's a famous venue. There's been so much history there. And I love it. Always love playing there.
We were just talking about this.
Places.
Yeah, we were just talking about this the other day that Metallica asked Ted Nugent to come on stage. And one of my friends told the guys from Metallica, you better be ready to give up your stage. And they actually had to unplug Ted's guitar, I think. But I think, Glenn, didn't you tell me about playing at the Fox one time?
Yeah, I played there with the bill was, this is a great bill. It was Jay Giles' band. And Gary Brooker's band, Procol Harum and Trapeze.
Wow, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was pre-Deep Purple.
That's 1972.
Okay.
No, you're dating. I was only 5 years old, by the way.
I was 3, so I know the feeling. But hey, speaking of Detroit, of course, there's a little bit of Detroit roots that's gone through the Dead Daisies. Talk about playing with Tommy.
Yeah, incredible. The loudest drummer I have ever, and I played with everybody, but that guy has got a big foot and he's the loudest. He's a great, great, great thunderous drummer.
Yeah, Doug, what do you think?
I love him. He's very proud of his roots in Detroit.
Yes, he is.
He's a man's man. You know, he's one of those guys that you don't want to mess with because you will get, you know, he'll put a hurting on you. And that's what he grew up like, you know, he's like, yeah, that's how it is, man. You don't run away from this or that. You just deal with it. That's how he was. But yeah, as Glenn said, my ears are still ringing from playing with Tommy.
Yeah, he was, and I guess, again, I played with everybody. He's the loudest drummer for sure.
Yeah, I saw you guys play with him at the Tokyo last time you guys came through.
Yeah.
It was so unbelievable. Yeah, what a great show, man. You guys are so great on
Thank
stage.
you.
Yeah, really good. Doug, I was going to ask you, what's it like to play with a legend like Glenn on stage? Glenn has impressed me every single time he's taken the stage.
Of course, he impresses everybody. He impresses me too, more than probably anybody. I've worked with Glenn, been friends with Glenn for a long time. But I'll tell you a funny story. We were playing in. He brought me out on a solo tour in 2015, and we had a show in Tokyo, and he was doing sound check, and you know, he just walks up really gingerly and puts on the bass, and all of a sudden, it was just like a rhinoceros exploding, and the drums were playing, and he's got his bass and he's singing. I'm like, we don't need me.
Well,
yeah,
no,
Glenn, I mean, if you told me that I was going to be friends with Glenn Hughes when I was a kid, I would have been like, yeah, right. You know.
No, Doug and I have got a great friendship. Very, very close.
not only friends, but actually, playing on stage. And Glenn, I've told you this several times, but I know you had your trials and tribulations back in the day. You cleaned up, you straightened up, and man, I just can't say enough good things about when I see you on stage.
Thank you. The changing point in my life is when I surrendered to the fact that I may have a problem at the bar. So when I stopped drinking and using, it's been almost 4 decades now. So yeah, 3 decades, sorry.
And is that your watchdog in the background?
I got 3 watchdogs, and they're all looking at me like, "What's going on, Daddy?"
So talk about Brian Tishy getting back in the band.
My fave drummer. I'm so glad Brian's back. Glad Brian's back.
He is he's the best drummer in the world right now. I don't think there's anybody that can compete with him. He's just got the best groove. He knows exactly what to do for each song, and you can hear it on the album. He threw down. It was amazing. Yeah,
when I was working, I've worked with Brian like Doug for a long time. Working with him on this album in the studio, he's a very musical drummer, very, very musical. And when we take these songs live, he's very, very serious about the groove. Very serious about groove. As a bass player, for me, it speaks volumes that when you're working with a drummer that understands groove, it's a beautiful thing.
Originally, they wanted David Coverdale, when he was putting Whitesnake back together after his hiatus, he wanted Brian Tishy, and Brian was busy working with Billy Idol at the time, so we didn't have him. We got, of course, Tommy Aldrich is amazing, but eventually, maybe it was about 6 or 7 years later, Tommy went off to do Thin Lizzy, and we got Brian Tishy in to do an album with Whitesnake, and man, I just fell in love with his playing ever since, and so. When I joined the Dead Daisies in 2016, Brian was in the band at the time. And so I was really excited about getting back together, playing with Brian. And then now he's back again. So it's amazing.
And of course, not only playing, but you got to have people that you can hang out with outside the stage, right?
That's a big thing. People don't realize that if you're going to be in a band together, you got to be getting along, because you're traveling in close proximity all the time and seeing each other every day. It's important that you get along.
Yeah, the camaraderie in this band is strong, so that's a really good thing.
And speaking of more Detroit ties, Glenn, you've had a chance to play several times with my friend Chad Smith. Speaking of guys that have a groove.
Yeah, he's been on 4 of my albums and 1 live album. Yeah, he's one of my closest friends ever, and his family are very close to me and my wife. So I'm godfather to one of his children. Yeah, I can't say enough about Chad Smith. Again, one of the top 3 drummers of all time. So, but again, more importantly, he's a very dear friend of mine, a brother figure.
Yeah, he just brought his mom up on stage the other day. She's 95.
Yes, God bless her. She's a lovely lady.
Yeah, she is the best. He would tell me stories back in the day when he was practicing drums that she would walk in from the grocery store and flash the lights, so he knew she was home.
It's a beautiful story. His mother's a beautiful lady.
Yeah,
a beautiful family. He's crazy as a bedbug.
Yeah. So I was at dinner last night with my wife, and I was thinking about 2 years ago at this time. Did you guys did it ever cross your mind that you might not have been able to get back on a stage again for a long time, maybe even never?
Yes, it did. It did. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I kept thinking, like, the tour's going to get pushed back till summertime or whatever. And then it just kept getting longer and longer and longer and longer. And then we did finally last year get out and we played some shows last year in the US and in the UK. But it's been difficult, navigating this whole thing. I think
what's happening right now, as Doug has witnessed with me, this window in Europe, as you've seen, I think every band had somebody get COVID or so it's affected touring. It's stopping a lot of bands from going out and doing tours,
Yeah, and I guess there's like a thin line between, like, do you live your life or do you live in a cocoon or what? Like, I've been to concerts now. I was in the Snake Pit at Metallica the other night in Pittsburgh. It's like,
nice.
I've kind of decided to live my life. I've taken the shots. I've had it. I've had COVID. I've done everything. I'm kind of finished with it.
That's what I think is the best thing. We got to move on. We can't. It's just something we got to live with.
I mean, this thing is so viral. It's running rampant especially in Europe. It's horrifying. But you know, we're kicking off this tour in a couple of weeks, and we did a tour last year. We were all good, and we're very safe with people, and you know, yeah, we're going to be okay.
Hey, Doug, I wanted to ask you about real fast about a record that you're on that I really like is the Crimson Idol from W.A.S.P. I know you probably didn't do a lot on that, but tell me your recollections of working in that project.
That was a long time ago. It was, I think, in the late 80s or
I think 30 years ago, 92, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Yeah. Well, anyway, I just went into, I guess he didn't have Blackie Lawless didn't have a guitar player, and he had a few of me and a couple other friends that I knew came in and played some solos. And I don't even know what I played on, to be honest. But Blackie, I'll just tell you this. He was very nice and very tall. Yeah.
Yeah, at 5'6", I guess I could relate.
Yeah.
No, I can't. So what do you guys have going on the rest of the year then? Just touring, just pushing out this record?
Yeah, we're doing as you know, these shows coming up starting in September 7th in New Jersey. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, we won't be hitting Detroit on this run, but we will be back next year. But we've got these shows coming up in September. Then we take a little bit of a break, and then we hit the UK in December.
Now, I know you guys played with Priest in the UK a few weeks ago. Is there any chance you'll hop on a big tour here?
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know. You never know. We're very close friends with those guys. So, yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, Doug, you were going to say?
No, I was just going to say, you never know. These things, you know, they come up really quick. And then if you're available, you got to jump on it. But I think Priest is locked in with, I'm not sure who they got on that tour, but if you get a chance, people got to go see Priest because it's a great show. And Richie Faulkner is killing it. And the Metal God is killing it. It's great.
Yeah, those guys are awesome. You know, I didn't even think about this until you just said that, Glenn, but you do know so many people. Couldn't you just call in a favor and say, hey, you know, whatever, can we hop on?
Well, you know, I'm not one to do that. I've known Rob Halford and Glenn Tipton since Deep Purple. So they opened for Purple on the last tour. So I do know a lot of people. I'm just not one to ask too many favors. I don't want to be rejected. So I don't know. I'm just really happy with where we're going. What the fight, of course, that we're on right now. It's a good thing. We're tight-knit family. We go out there and we take this we have a lot of fun, as you see at the Token Lounge, and that's the way we like it.
Yeah. And have you talked to David Coverdale recently?
Yeah, I spoke to him last week.
How's he doing?
He's doing okay. He's recovering right now from some upper respiratory problems, and he's taken it easy. I think they're going out again in Europe the end of the year.
Yeah, I'm bummed out. I'm gonna miss him here with the Scorpions coming up. But
yeah.
Anyway, Radiance comes out on September 30th, and Glenn and Doug, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you,
Glenn. I think it's someone's feeding time. I'm not sure.
Oh, they've just been fed, but no, I got workers. I got a workload at the house right now, so they're having a grumble at the workers.
I think the last time I talked to you, there was a dog in the background as well. So
yeah, there's always dogs and workers at my house.
Man's best friend, no doubt about it. So. Well, thank you guys so much, and good luck with everything.
Thank you. Good luck. Good luck. I love you, Detroit. I'll see you again. Peace and love. Thank you, my friend. Good to hear you. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you guys. Thank you so much, Doug. You all right?
Thanks, Matt. Thank you, guys. Thanks, everybody in Detroit. We love you. We'll see you soon. You bet.
All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. All the best.
Bye.
Thank you. See you in a minute, Doug. See ya.